Welcome, my friend. Before we begin this story, pause for a moment and think. Have you ever wondered what your life will look like when you are old and looking back? Will you smile with peace? Or will your heart feel heavy with words like, I should have? Or, I wish I had? Many people live busy lives, but very few live meaningful ones. Today's story is written for you, to gently wake something inside you. Read slowly, feel deeply, and let curiosity guide you, because this story may change the way you see your own life. The story begins in a small and quiet town, where life moved at a gentle pace. In this town lived a man named Daniel. He was not special in the eyes of the world. He worked a normal job, lived in a small apartment, and followed the same routine every day. Daniel woke up early, drank his coffee, went to work, returned home, ate dinner, and slept. His life was safe and predictable, but inside his heart, something felt unfinished. Daniel often felt tired, not only in his body, but in his mind. He felt as if his days were repeating like pages copied from the same book. Sometimes, late at night, he would stare at the ceiling and think about the dreams he once had. He wanted to write stories, travel to new places, and speak honestly about his feelings. But each time these thoughts appeared, fear quickly followed and pushed them away. He told himself that dreams were dangerous and unrealistic. I am too old, he thought. I don't have time, he said. What if I fail? Fear became his constant companion. Slowly, without noticing, Daniel began choosing comfort over growth. And while comfort protected him from failure, it also protected him from joy. One evening, after a long and tiring day, Daniel decided to walk home using a different road. It was a small decision, but it felt strange. This road passed through an old park he had not visited in many years. The trees were tall, the benches were old, and the air felt full of memories. As he walked, he noticed an elderly man sitting quietly on a bench, feeding birds with gentle hands. Daniel did not know why, but he stopped and sat beside the old man. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The silence was calm, not uncomfortable. Then the old man slowly turned his head and asked a simple question. Do you enjoy your life? The question surprised Daniel. He opened his mouth, but no easy answer came. After a pause, Daniel spoke honestly. I think I exist more than I live, he said quietly. The old man nodded as if he understood completely. I am near the end of my life, the man said softly. And I have learned something important. Regrets are not born from mistakes. They are born from chances we never take. His words touched Daniel deeply. That night, Daniel could not sleep. The old man's words repeated in his mind again and again. He thought about the risks he never took, the words he never spoke, and the paths he never followed. He realized something painful but true. His greatest fear was not failure. It was living his entire life without truly living it. The next morning, Daniel woke up earlier than usual. He sat at his small table and opened a notebook that had been resting on a shelf for years. His hands shook as he picked up a pen. He did not know what to write, but he wrote anyway. The words were simple and imperfect, but they were real. And for the first time in a long while, Daniel felt alive. Days passed, and Daniel began making small changes. He did not change his entire life in one day. Instead, he focused on small, brave actions. He wrote a little every morning. He listened more carefully when people spoke. He shared his thoughts even when his voice felt unsure. Each small step gave him more confidence and less fear. Daniel also learned that living without regrets required honesty. One afternoon, he decided to visit an old friend he had not spoken to in years. Their friendship had ended because of pride and silence. For a long time, Daniel avoided this meeting because he feared rejection. But now he understood something important. Avoiding pain today often creates regret tomorrow. The meeting was uncomfortable, emotional, and honest. They spoke about misunderstandings and hurt feelings. Not everything was fixed, but something important happened. Daniel felt lighter. He realized that courage did not always bring perfect results, but it always brought peace. And peace, he learned, was more valuable than comfort. As months turned into years, Daniel's mindset slowly changed. He stopped asking, "What if I fail?" and started asking, "What if I don't try?" He learned that mistakes were teachers, not enemies. Every failure showed him a lesson. Every challenge helped him grow stronger. Fear still existed, but it no longer controlled his decisions. Daniel returned to the park one day, hoping to see the old man again. The bench was empty. The birds were there, but the man was gone. Daniel felt a quiet sadness, but also deep gratitude. He understood that some people enter our lives for a short time, but their words can guide us forever. Over time, Daniel began sharing his experiences with others. Younger people listened as he spoke about fear, courage, and regret. He never told them what to do. He only shared what he had learned. "Do not wait for the perfect moment," he said. "Life is happening now, not later." Daniel also discovered the power of forgiveness. He realized that many regrets were connected to anger and guilt. Slowly, he learned to forgive others and himself. Forgiveness did not change the past, but it changed how he carried it. With each act of forgiveness, his heart felt lighter and freer. He learned to accept change as a natural part of life. Dreams changed, people changed, paths changed. Instead of fighting these changes, Daniel welcomed them. He understood that regret often comes from refusing to move forward, while growth comes from accepting life as it is. In quiet moments, Daniel smiled more often. Not because life was easy, but because it was honest. He was no longer watching life from a distance. He was living it fully, imperfectly, and bravely. He knew that when his journey ended, his heart would be calm. And now, my friend, this story gently turns toward you. One day, you will look back at your life too. What story do you want to tell yourself? A life without regrets is not built by big, dramatic moments. It is built by small, brave choices made every day. Start now, start small, because the best time to truly live is always today.